Hey guys, Sir Meliodas back as promised. I'm going to be going over the Labyrinth today, and I actually brought somebody with me. He's going to be discussing, as we go through the Labyrinth, just different strategies and ideas with me as we debate back and forth and kind of pick which relics we want to use. Now, the game has released a lot of new relics as of patch update 130. They're about to have that new patch update 131 here soon, so stay tuned for that and all the new things to come with that. But for right now, they did update the Labyrinth quite a bit. So the strategies in it have changed. They have a lot of new cool relics. So first, let me show you who we brought on. I'm going to pull up my guild page here. Again, if you guys are looking for a guild, we're growing really fast. They're very active. And give me just a second while this game loads through. Sometimes the internet's kind of spotty on here, which is never fun. Hit that retry here. There we go. Now, like I said, our guild is growing really rapidly, so we're getting new people every single day. So if you guys are interested in joining, the guild ID is 216902 or the 7 Deadly Sins. And I am Sir Meliodas. As you know, I have with me Sir King. Let's go ahead and pull his account up. This is kind of what he uses. Now, typically he doesn't have Belinda there. He's got a Chimera just like I do. So the big differences between his team and mine is that healer that he uses. I just don't have Namora the way that I want her yet. I did just recently ascend her, so I may be integrating her soon. I just have a little bit better options as a lot of my characters are able to either avoid damage or heal themselves. So my playstyle doesn't really include her or Belinda. I choose to use Chimera and Thane myself. So we'll just see those differences as we move through the Labyrinth and just see kind of how that shapes the outcome of how this works out for us. Now, we are going to be going for hard mode this time. Now, typically I don't pick up heroes right off the bat just because I have so many that are already leveled up enough to make it through all the way and beat hard mode that I'd rather get the power from the relics. But we will take a look and see what they're offering in here in case there's any unique heroes that I'd like to just see the mechanics of. So let's take a look here. We'll first we're gonna go to that top one up here and see what they're offering. And there's not a whole lot here that I'm real interested in, although this Orthros is a really good character if it's built right. What do you think? Orthros, if he's built right, he's probably he's not bad. He's kind of tanky.
He doesn't seem to work too well on my team. It's hard to figure out exactly what character you want to put him in place of, though.
That's true, exactly. And like obviously you can't take out a Lucius for him because Lucius's shield ability is too good. So unless you had a team built around him specifically or that whole faction together, I just really don't see him as a viable switch. It's really hard with how like elite they made Lucius and his abilities. He just seems to stay alive a lot. So it's very interesting. How you would go about. You may have to just try 2 tanks if you really wanted to try a really tanky deck. I could see that, maybe having him and Lucius up front, but that's going to be a really slow deck. What do you think?
Usually it doesn't end up well in hard mode just because you don't have enough power.
That's true. Let's go ahead and look at some of these other ones here. This next one down here. Now, this is interesting because I'm not going to pick these up, like I said, but if I were like earlier on in the game, if you guys, like I said, if you guys are under 240, you haven't maxed out your crystal and you guys don't have ascended, first off, your options aren't going to look quite this nice where you're getting 2-star ascended. That does tier up as you get better and your cards get better, you get further chapters. But don't let that discourage you. These heroes are super helpful, especially early game when you don't have them. This is one of them, for instance. She is very powerful at attacking a lot of different people at once. I've said in my past videos, you guys are going to hear me continue to say it a lot because I really think it's important. Spend some time on that hero page, click these skills and read those because you need to know what you're going up against and you need to know what you have at your disposal, especially going through these labyrinths as they can get tough at lower levels. So let's look at the next one here. Ooh, now this one's got 2 I really like that I don't use, and I only don't use them because they're not ascended, and obviously, as you can guess, they're the light bearers. Both of them are very good. We'll click over here on Gwyneth first, as she's a lot newer. What do you think? Have you used her much?
I've only used her probably one time.
Like probably
when
in
she
the Labyrinth,
first
right?
came out in the Labyrinth.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been for me too. But she's fun, right?
She is a good character.
Her graphics are really cool. Let's pull her skills up because you're probably not quite as familiar with them. I have gone over them, although not many people have her at my level. They have her, but they don't use her because she isn't at the same levels as all the rest of their cards, which I get because that's the same reason I'm not using her. But let's go ahead and dive into this card real quick, just because it's kind of cool. We'll give it a little spotlight real quick. Gwyneth fires a divine arrow into the sky, which splits into multiple arrows that rain down upon the enemy half of the battlefield, dealing 210 damage to any enemies that are struck, while also reducing her accuracy by 90 for 8 seconds. Or not hers, theirs. So basically, she's gonna hit everybody at once, doing 210% of her base damage, which is already a lot. And then she's gonna lower everybody's accuracy so they can't hit her back. So as you tier that up, that starts to get really ridiculous as they reduce the accuracy by 150. Like, that's insane. So like, clearly you could tell how that's gonna be a huge benefit, especially in the light bearers, where if you were to try to build with 2 tanks, that'd be a crucial thing to have. You know what I mean? But let's go on to the next ability here. Gwyneth's normal attack will prioritize the enemy directly opposite her current position. So whoever's standing right across from her, her normal attacks deal higher damage but have a low attack frequency. So she's going to attack a little bit slower, but it's going to do way more damage consistently. Gwyneth, her normal attacks also have a 60% chance to become flaming arrows. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this card, as you can really spend a long time on her. But if you look, her arrows are going to turn to different elements, and they're going to do different abilities. So spend some time with her. She is a really cool hero. I just don't want to spend too much time, as we're just barely getting into the Labyrinth right now. Let's go ahead and back up. And the first options here, again, they just don't look that great to me. The far right here, this Wilder, is a really good healer. So if you guys just don't have a third backline hero, this is definitely a good pickup. She's fast. She heals quick. She's probably the second best healer in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, she also freezes other opponents, so it's super good against
True.
Brutus.
True.
Especially since he's the one that knocks out all the other characters. As soon as she's able to freeze him, you're able to do enough damage to the team to counteract his effects.
That's true, because he does spin around. And he can get kind of hard because he hits that ability where you can't do any damage. He starts throwing that immune up, which is super frustrating. So yeah, no, I get that. She's a super viable character if you have a position available, which I just really don't on my team. So let's go ahead and jump into this real quick. These first ones you're going to see, I'm going to knock out very quickly. The decision here is whether or not to start this with Rowan. Because endgame, he's very good, as all these guys' abilities start popping off really fast. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm actually going to put him in the middle here and hopefully try to pull some damage away from him, as you've got the Chimera on the other side over there. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm not really worried about that Chimera really hurting my Lucius at all. But I really don't want her to get a hold of Rowan at all, because he is one of my favorite characters first off, and his abilities we just really want to get off. So let's go ahead and begin that battle and see what happens here. It is in ×2, their abilities are activating automatically. I just prefer to play that way, especially when we're doing these videos. However, if you get stuck, it could be very beneficial to learn these abilities and activate them when they're supposed to be activated, and it can help you get a lot further. However, as you can see, we're just going to walk right on through here and pop up our first choices. Now, we do have one elite here. When a hero dies, all attributes of all surviving heroes are raised until the end of the battle. Now, I do like this one in the sense that if someone dies, the rest of your team's probably not going to, but I like the idea of not having any of my teammates die and trying to build something that's going to work really well. Life Leech plus 10% in the middle is a very good card. It does help. However, in my opinion, the Book of War, even if it's at a rare, is probably the best card up here, just because it reduces all the friendly backline damage, which tend to be your weaker heroes. And in my case, they are. 30%. They receive 30% less damage when there's front heroes alive still, which you got Lucius, you got Fox, you got your tough heroes there. So in my opinion, that's a really good option here. Life Leech is another good option though if you're trying to build that style. What do you think?
Well, when you have a really good defense card like Lucius or another card that's like that, reducing the damage around the back line heroes helps your team out a lot more than I would say the Life Leech at 10%.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. And it is a 30% on top of that. It's not just that 10% is that full 30%. So I think we should go ahead and get that this time and move on to this next battle. Like I said, we're not going to pick up any of these heroes at the beginning and just kind of see what we get. And we're going to move into this next battle real quick. Like I said, here in this first tier, I'm not really worried about the placement of my heroes. I know I'm going to walk through all these guys. If you guys need help on positioning certain characters, I'll actually move some of these around. I'll show you real quick how I would set this up if I was trying to beat it. I would probably do something very similar to that. And the reason being, Lucius is going to take a lot of Brutus's damage. He's actually going to take all of it. His shields are very, very good. He's a great tank, so I'm going to want to put him against their top damage receiver, or giver, basically, their top damage doer, who is going to be Brutus. And so across from that, they got their Lucius. I'm going to need to put somebody on him that's going to kind of pick away. I'm not too worried about anyone over there doing damage to Lucius at that point, just because of my Chimera. This is the trick here. The trick is they have a Fox and I have a Fox, and we both have Chimeras. So our Foxes are going to pick our Chimeras up. That's just going to happen. I almost guarantee. That's just kind of how Fox's ability works. Is in your expertise, you think so too?
Yeah, almost every single time.
He's gonna pick that card up. It's the one that's gonna do the most damage to my team, and that's why. So it's gonna come down to who can activate these abilities the quickest. Now my Fox holds cards longer than his Fox because my gear on him, his mythic item, is better. I can see that by the little Lightbringer emblem down by his number right down here. You can see it's a little bit different than that one. It shows me that my item is a higher level. However, on Chimeras, they are the same. So if this was an even match, I would win it anyway, most likely, because Rowan's going to be throwing it off. I also get that bonus of having 4 Lightbringers, which is always a nice bonus to have. And if you guys are unfamiliar with that, I'm going to try to click over here and see if it'll pull it up. I have this game screen recorder on. It might not let me here. I'll show you guys right now. But go ahead and click that up in the top left. It's going to show you all those factional advantages you can get in the boost. So I'm going to go ahead and battle this out and show you guys a little bit what I was talking about. It's kind of hard to explain in these tier 1 labyrinths just because of how quick I go through them, but as we progress, you'll see what I'm talking about. See, if we could build this completely wrong and just not get lucky at all with these relics and not be able to make it through tier 3 on our first labyrinth video, which would be lovely, but that's just kind of how it works. You never really know what you're going to get. I like to pick up the Lightbringer weapons. I really do. I like to pick up the Lightbringer things because I use 4 of them. That means most of them, it says Lightbringer defense ratings 20%. This one's a little bit different. I like the ones that say you get 20% for every Lightbringer on a battlefield. Those ones are awesome.
That increase the rate for each one.
Yeah, for each Lightbearers. Yeah. Because when you have 4, that's 40%.
That is a really good card.
Yeah, so that is good because it's going to affect 4 of my heroes at once at a 20% defense rating, which is a Lucius thing. So it's not really helping my attack. Backline heroes attack rating 5% and critical rating 10%. That's not a bad card either. Now you'll notice over there's another elite. I don't really care to pick it up because it is for a hero that I don't really use. You can see her picture down there. If you happen to stumble across one that is for a hero you use, pick it up. Forget everything else, pick it up. I'm telling you, it's by far, it'll make your team way better. And you got lucky. So I definitely recommend picking those up. What do you think we should go with?
Definitely the Lightbringer card, just because you're actually... The Lightbearers.
Yeah, I do that too, because in the library, they got the Lucius and the Belinda listed as the Lightbringers, and then on the card it says the Lightbringers, and it just rolls off easier. They should change it. It sounds better, but we'll... out of respect for the game, we'll try to stick to light bearers. But yeah, I think so too. You can finish what you're saying though.
So yeah, with the Light Bearer's card, especially with it increasing your defense again, that's one of the main things you want to go with the Labyrinth, is increasing your defense. A lot of times that helps a lot more than other cards.
Absolutely. Let's do it. I agree fully. We're going to move on to this one. And again, I'm not going to focus every single time on in these lower tiers reordering the team, as it really doesn't matter for me at this level. You'll see that very quickly. I'm just going to kind of push through these and talk to you guys as we get through the relics and kind of just give you my tips as we go through here. See, this is a blend item. It would work really, really, really well for Sir King on his account, wouldn't it?
It would.
You'd probably use her in the Labyrinth immediately from your deck if you were to get that. That is a very good card. Unfortunately, I'm not going to use that. So my options here are time is sped up, increasing your team's haste by 10 seconds, which is a great card with a team that's already fast. Or deals more damage the enemy the more HP they have. Now this is good too because I have a lot of abilities that pop off immediately, like Thane. He jumps around and starts hitting everybody really fast. So that does significant damage, and then immediately you have Shamir's ability going off, so that one's good too. So the haste though makes all their abilities jump really fast, so it's kind of iffy back and forth there. What do you think?
I usually go for the haste over something like that, just because it's activating the entire time through the battle.
Rather than just at the beginning, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I wanted to get your thoughts before I said that. But yeah, no, the haste is anything that's going to stay on your team throughout the entire Labyrinth or the entire battle. Those are the things that you're going to want to stick towards. And we're going to jump here right into the next one pretty quick and try to push through here. They got some interesting teams through the Labyrinth. A lot of the teams just really don't make sense. They're not viable teams that you'd want to even copy. So don't try that. Even the top teams, like at the top, they're either not feasible or they're fake teams anyway, and they got cards that can't be ascended, and all kinds of wildness going on. So this is a clear, easy cut decision for me. What do you think?
Well, you've got the increase the wearer's health regeneration by 40% there on the left. And then you've got your elite relic over here in the middle, increase the defense and attack ratings by 20% in the hard mode. We are going for the hard mode this time.
Absolutely.
So I would absolutely go with the elite relic.
This one's a rare one to get, especially in like the first tier of the Labyrinth, like Labyrinth Floor 1. So I'm going to pick that up. I really, really like the increase the wearer's health regen, but this is just too much to pass on when I know I'm going for hard. In case I pick up another one or two of them, it can make hard mode smooth for us, which would be really, really nice, because there's a couple things in there I want to show you that are really beneficial to your game. So hopefully we can get up to that point. We're going to jump right here into the next battle and keep trying to get a little more powerful here. Man, it's so frustrating having that game screen recorder at the top. I may have to find a different way to do videos in the future, just so you guys can see the power and stuff. I'll try to slide it over in between the videos so we can get an idea of what's going on here. And again, we're just kind of walking through these guys and pulling up this next one. What do you think here? We got another one for hard mode. That's insane. 2 in a row. That far right one.
Increase the defense and attack ratings by 12%.
That'll give us, I know it's not making us stronger right now, but that'll give us 32% boost in hard mode for attack and defense.
That is true. I do like the card on the far left that casts the protective shield over all heroes for 3 seconds that is able to mitigate damage equal up to 20% of their max HP.
That is a really good card. Now, I would use that in any deck that did not include Lucius. And the reason I say that is his ability is so fast when you're using Rowan. It's popping off so quick, like almost immediately. So that's if I didn't have Rowan, I would probably use it too, just so it would protect everybody until Lucius got his ability going, which is why you probably use that a lot.
That is exactly why I use him in my deck.
Because you don't use Rowan, do you?
I don't.
He's just not quite high enough for you yet, is he?
If he's in the Labyrinth, I will pick him up every single time over my healer.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. That is one of the cards I do check for because mine isn't ascended. When I get it in the Labyrinth, it's an ascended 2-star, so absolutely I pick that up every time. So we're going to jump right over here and pick this up to hard mode. And we're going to jump right into this next battle here, guys. Thanks for sticking along. If you stuck along this long, I know it's wild. We've literally almost hit 20 minutes, which is crazy, but we're still on floor 1. So we're gonna try to speed this up a little bit and kind of just run through these and make this video push through a little bit. I really just don't like skipping out. I know these videos are long, but if you pay attention to them, you may learn something. And if you have something to add to something we say, please just leave it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe for the next videos too. And we're just gonna walk through these guys so fast. So fast.
I do like Estrelda's ability quite a lot, that she runs through the characters, especially when the healer is in the back, or you have Shamira in the back as well.
This is a good one. I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's 2 really good ones here, and this is going to be really tricky for me. There's actually a new one, one that came out a couple patch updates back. It's not that new. The Sunstone. Allied heroes with 50% health or more will continuously regenerate energy, which I love, especially on this team that keeps a lot of health. If you get the Moonstone, which is the reverse effect of that, you become unstoppable very fast, which is allied heroes with 50% energy or more will continuously regenerate health. So they go back and forth really, really fast. And when you have somebody like Lucius, who's got a protective shield as well, and Rowan, who's healing and doing energy regeneration, they're all feeding off of each other so well. It makes it really hard not to get the Sunstone, even with that Lightbearer's loyalty card, which I love. Now, we do have one in a rare form, and this one's not a stackable one, whereas what I mean by that, you're not getting 30% for every light bearer, you're just getting 30% to the light bearer. So Shamira isn't even getting a benefit, who is one of our highest cards, and we have been giving the light bearers a lot of like we gave them the last one. But what do you think?
Unless I had a full team of light bearers, I'm definitely going for the Sunstone here.
Yeah, this is a good card. I think I'm gonna do that too and just kind of live on the edge. Maybe we might get that Moonstone. That'd be a really cool pickup. Let's jump over here. I don't really need to heal my cards, although if you guys do need to heal, this Fountain of Vitality is going to heal your cards a certain percentage. Now, there are relics you can pick up in game that are going to increase that percentage as well, so pay attention to those if that's something you need to do. Make sure you take advantage of that. We're going to jump into this battle real quick. This would be a tough team to fight if they were my level. It would be rough. That is a very well put together team. It looks very similar to the one I use in normal Labyrinth outside of, they use Namora, which this actually looked very similar to your team. They have Namora and Shamira there too, which is pretty cool. All right, moving on to these next relics. We got damage received by minus 15%. We got the Warhorn in the middle. Raise all allied heroes attributes each time an enemy is slain until the end of the battle, which is awesome. Again, I don't really like cards that depend on my cards dying, so I tend to stay away from those ones and go to cards that are going to help throughout the whole thing. All surviving heroes recover 25% of lost HP after battle, which again is a really good card. Because there's some new relics in the game that literally rely on your cards to have more than 90% health at the start of the battle to get a huge attack boost. They're really cool cards, and I hope we run into a couple of them here. So with that in mind, it might not be a bad idea to pick that up. What do you think?
That would be a good option. I usually like to go for the damage received by -%. That's usually the best card out of the options, but I actually do like the Warhorn this time, just because...
Not the Warhorn, the branch.
No, the Warhorn actually. It raises all allied heroes attributes each time the enemy is slain until the end of battle.
Yeah, that one's not a bad card.
So as soon as you kill at least one of the characters, it automatically goes a lot quicker.
That's true. That one is good. I read that wrong. I was thinking it was the other horn, that every time one of your heroes dies, you get stronger. But yeah, no, I agree. That's a good card. So it's between that and that 25% loss. But I mean, I guess if you can kill the enemy faster, you'll be taking less damage anyway. So let's go ahead and go with that Warhorn this time. That's a good call. And we had already checked the abandoned wagon, so that had the Orthros in it we discussed earlier. I'm going to pass on that, and we're going to go to this next battle and try to get a little bit stronger as we move close to the next tier in this Labyrinth, tier 2, or floor 2 rather. So let's just burn through these guys real fast. Just these little Waste of a time. They should just have relics sitting that I can step on. Been through here so many times. Also, Rowan took some damage that time. That was tricky. He will heal himself, though. He will heal himself. What do you think about these?
Now, this should be a pretty easy option.
Easy.
You've got your legendary relic, and of course this one is the arrows rain down upon enemies every 15 seconds, inflicting damage upon them.
Can't beat that. Like, I mean, there's some good ones here, like the intelligence-based heroes deal 20% damage. That's only going to help Shamir on my team, though. Increase the wilder heroes, that doesn't help me a whole lot because I don't use them. So this is an easy call for us. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pick that Eagle Strike, and we're going to move up here. This Mystic dude up here on the left, he's going to take a hero that's been killed, a random one, and revive it. Now, we haven't lost any, so we're going to go ahead and hit this Fountain of Vitality, which is going to help our Rowan, who did take a little bit of damage. As we're coming into that final battle of the floor of the boss fight here, let's see what they got for us. See, now, this team, again, would be hard if they changed out Lila at the bottom there in the back with the pink hair. If they changed her out and maybe added some more, they'd have to change out both those wilders. It's a really weird team when they throw in 3 factions like that. There's not many cards that work well like that. But let's go ahead and battle them and see what happens.
You see, with decks like these, it's usually easy to beat just because they don't have a defense card.
Look at that. That's what I was talking about. That Pendants of Force right there in the middle. Greatly reduce health of all enemies at the beginning of battle. That's one of those new ones. We got some other options here, though. I really like that Pendants of Force, though. It makes everything so much easier moving into hard mode when you start the battle and they already take massive damage.
With it here, since you don't have many of the intelligence-based heroes on your team.
That's true. I don't have a lot of intelligence-based.
See, that's where it comes in on the Labyrinth. You always want to make sure exactly what type of characters that you have before you pick up any of the relics.
That's true. Be mindful what cards you're using and what cards you're going for. Have a strategy. You can see like those first 4 options of heroes you can pick up as well before you ever even start. So at the beginning of every floor, make sure you scroll up and kind of see what options lie ahead and what paths and routes you want to take. Be very mindful if it is hard for you and you guys are struggling. When you're picking what battle that you're going to select, make sure you remember those factional advantages and you know about those character skills and spend that time on that hero page because you're going to be able to see those characters that you kind of want to stay away from. Especially if it's a struggle for you in power, you don't even want to get anywhere close. What do you think about? Should we just take that Pendant's Force?
I would probably go with the Pendant this time just because your team survives and is able to heal themselves pretty well. With the Pendant, it's reducing all of the enemy's attack.
And making it quicker.
Or all of the enemy's health.
I agree. Let's take that. All right, we're going to go ahead and collect this chest up here. Nice little reward. And we're going to move on to floor 2. I don't need to heal myself right now, so we're let's take a look here and see what we got. Not bad options, not bad. Athalia's a good angel up there. She's fast, she works well. And Wukong. We're gonna pick up Wukong when we get up there, just so I can show you guys a little bit. Hopefully, we'll get a battle to where I can use him. Like I said, I may be able to use him on my main team. We'll see. I'm gonna throw him out there. He kind of counts as every faction, so I won't lose that factional ability because he's that faction, which I really like. So let's go ahead and battle this and see what happens here. In all luck, someone may die, and then I won't feel as bad about it. Because I really hate changing a team that's working so well, man.
A lot of times I'll change out like a Brutus instead of my Estrella just because of the power that he has in defeating
like
so many
fast.
other types of characters.
Like all the wilders that you struggle with. Yeah, for sure. I get that. There's the Moonstone. There it is. There we go. Let's pick up the Moonstone, man.
Yeah, the easiest choice.
Yeah, for sure. The Moonstone, because it's we got the Sunstone already. And like I said, allied heroes with 50% energy or more will continuously regenerate health. So now they're working together back and forth. We're going to be regenerating a whole lot quicker. And let's jump right into that next battle. It's going to put us in the best position on the map to go left or right, depending on what we would like to do.
Even if we had better options, we still would have gone with the Moonstone, though.
For sure.
Just because we had already picked up the Sunstone?
Oh yeah. I can't think of a card I would have picked up instead of that just then. I really can't. It completes it too well. Unless you're picking up a lot, you get a lot of Shards of Force early. That's another way you can go. And hopefully in one of the future videos we can discuss that, or if I get one, I'll go over it a little bit, kind of what those Shards of Force do, but they are helpful if you get multiple of them. But moving on to these next relics, we got the Silver Arrow, which increases the factional damage percentages by 40%, which is awesome. You do way more damage, so when you do go a little bit more strategically and you pick the battles you're wanting to do, you can get a little bit more of a boost when you may not be able to beat those cards normally. What do you think here?
Well, your team already heals pretty quickly, so with the Life Leech, you're not going to need that 10% as much as the 40% damage on the factional would actually benefit you more.
I think so too. Let's pick that up and take a look at our options here. Now, I think we're going to be forced to pick up a hero here just because I really don't want to go the route of the Fountain and the Roamer and then waste not being able to pick up a relic. You know what I'm saying? Because I'd have to go 2 squares up to here and then over to fight again to pick up a relic, or I can pick up this wagon and then fight right over here. So we're going to try that, and I guess we'll just, I don't know why, but we're going to pick her up because she was part of patch update 1.30. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out that video, she did get changed a little bit, so she is quite a bit stronger and her abilities happen quite a bit quicker. So in case of a dire need and we need to switch some heroes out, she's not a bad option to throw in there with Shamira as some support for the Graveborns. Let's go ahead and hit this real quick. And we're going to be working our way back up to that Wukong at the top, who I'm excited to try out because he is that new hero. Ooh. And they're popping off quicker and quicker. All right. This team's getting strong, guys. It's getting very, very, very strong, which I like. All right, see, this is the Shard of Force. I was hoping it wouldn't pop up because it would take a little more time to dive into, but that's okay. We'll do it for you. Shard of Force. When you get 2 of them, they start doing things for you. If you get lucky enough to pick up 2 of them, damage received to all your heroes is going to be reduced by 15%. If you get 3, damage dealt is increased by 25%, which is huge. And if you happen to get 4, critical rating is increased by 40%. Now, it's not just that. You get all those abilities together when you have 4. So you can see very quickly how you get ridiculously strong really fast if you do get lucky enough to pick up 4 of those. Now, if I'm hunting for those, I got to be pretty tempted early on in floor 1 and have to get 1 or 2 on floor 1 before I really start trying to pick that up, because it doesn't help me much if I only get 1 or 2. So what do you think here?
Once you get part way into the floor 2, there's almost no point in picking up the Shard of Force just because it doesn't come that often. So you won't be able to pick up as many as you would usually like to. So the only time I would go for it is if you do see it in the first Labyrinth.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes on a rotation. Like I said, it's a computer. It generates randomly. So if you get one of those random where you get like, I've had it before where I'll get like 2 Shards of Force, 2 battles in a row, right off the get-go. And that's when I know I'm going for shards. And I have gotten 4 shards in a battle before, or in Labyrinths before on multiple occasions. So if you get 2 immediately, pick them up. You probably will get more. And they are helpful. But I think let's go with the Lightbearer ring this time. This is one that I really like. Increase all teammates' defense by 10% for every Lightbearer hero that's on the battlefield. That's defense of 40% because I'm using 4 of them as of right now. So I think that is the most beneficial rare card that's out there for my team. What do you think?
Especially for most Lightbearer teams, just because as soon as you have 1 on there, any more than that, you're already doing better than the damage received of the helmet.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's jump right into this next one now. Here we go. Man. I just love how this team works so well together. You got Rowan popping his ability off, letting Lucius throw his shield off more, protecting Shamira, who's throwing her ability, doing massive damage. Fox doing his thing in the back. What do you think we should do here, man?
Well, you've got an elite relic here on the left side. It raises your hero's attack ratings by 4% for every battle they win, and can be raised up to a total of 20%. So that is a good card, especially when you are about halfway through the Labyrinth, just because you don't want to pick up the card too late to the end of the Labyrinth.
That's true.
Because you won't be able to pick up that full 20%.
However, we still have a whole floor to go, so that might not be a bad idea.
There is that one. You don't really have a whole lot of agility-based heroes.
Just one, really, I think. No, I got a couple. Because let's see, let's back up here. We'll leave that here, and you can always do this, guys. You can back up. It's gonna leave it right there, and look at your heroes. Because right now I do use 2. Man, I skipped Wukong. I didn't even pick him up. Darn. Shoot. Oh no, I didn't. He's still up there. We're good. I thought I skipped him for a second. So no, we use 2 agility based, but I still don't think that's gonna be as good as that.
Yeah, only because
elite.
It's only gonna raise it up to the 20% damage.
Yeah. So
Now I do like the Heart Seeker though. It is raising your critical strike damage by 40%. So it's hard to choose a lot of times, but since the Spike is an elite relic, I'd probably go with that one this time.
yeah, I think so too. I do like the critical damage, so that is a very, very good option to go with. Let's go ahead and let Shamira do some damage. All right. Here we go. And you can see the battles are getting a little bit tougher. They're lasting a little bit longer. As we go into the next floor, though, things are going to get a little interesting, and we may lose some heroes. We may not even make it. So it's very interesting the way the mechanics of the game work. Sometimes that third floor is just devastatingly harder than the first 2, and it's just really hard to overcome. Now, if I had Brutus, that would be a great card. Absolutely, I would pick up the Lion's Might, but I just don't have him, or I would. I have him Mythic Plus, but the cards on the team are just so much better right now without him. If he was Ascended, I'd have that card for sure.
Yeah, like Sir Meliodas said earlier, when you have a character that you use, you always want to pick up his specific relic.
Absolutely.
Every single time.
Absolutely. So really the only option we're left is the one that isn't a Mauler one, which causes random enemies target to receive more damage, which is kind of cool. So it's just going to randomly pick someone on the field, and they're going to take way more damage. So let's go ahead and pick that up. And we're going to go ahead and move right into this next battle here. All right. Here we go. And you guys do really want to be strategic and remember which cards you picked up. I'm going to show you here in a second right after this battle. You can refer back to your bag here and look at everything you picked up, and the game's come a long way. I know you can't see it because the game screen recorder thing's at the top, but if I'll slide it over here in just 1 second so you can see it. One of my favorite cards here in the middle, it entrances the frontline enemies for 2 seconds. As you get a rarer version of that, it's going to entrance them for longer. But even 2 seconds is crucial at the beginning of a match. Looking to the left, you have that, basically that little goblet that allows you to restore more at that fountain, like I was talking about before. So you'll restore 50 instead of 25% of your health, which can be helpful if you're struggling through these. And then deals more damage the lower your hero's HP fall. So if you're struggling again, the Pearl of Oath could be viable for you, just to do a little bit more damage as you get weaker. What do you think?
Both of those options are really good for teams that aren't able to make it through the Labyrinth with at least 90% of their health on.
Yeah.
So I would honestly go with the rare, the entrance, the frontline enemy heroes this time, just because of your deck.
I think so too. And we're gonna pick up that Woo, like I said, and again, I would use the Mystic if we had someone who died, but we really don't. So let's go to the fountain and just heal up as we get ready for the boss of floor 2, guys. And let's see what they have for us. This is a lot of people I normally don't like to fight in arena because they mess me up. However, we're about to see what happens here. I kind of want to use Wu. We're going to take out Estrelda, and we're going to put in Wu. He is a tank. I'm not sure if you guys have looked into him. He is actually a tank. He's going to do a lot of things, though. He's going to pop in and out of battle. He's going to summon shadow clones. He's going to be on a cloud. He's going to do all kinds of crazy stuff that make you think he's in more than one anime. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what he does. Look at that already. I'm super impressed. Wow. They did a really good job on how he looks. It seems smooth so far. Ooh. He's all over the place. Oh, he's literally, there's 3 of them running around.
He does disappear when he has his clones come out.
There's 4 of them. I like it. That looks so cool. What do you think?
I do like that card. He seems to work pretty well with your deck as well right now.
That's a 75% bonus for light bearers.
So yeah,
right now.
Especially with these vows, these rings on the far left that you have, when you have a deck with the light bearers team,
that's the way to go.
Every single time.
It's gotta be. That's just too much damage. And now if you go to the left, you're gonna go to the normal 4-3. We're actually gonna go to hard mode. It's a little bit more dangerous. There's a lot more going on here. You have a few more options we can cover. Now this one's cool. You have to actually battle this person to take it. Unfortunately, it's not one that I even think is good. But we will do it just to show you guys. So let's go ahead and move in that way. We're not going to do the Mystic anyways because nobody's dead. Heal up real quick and let's take a look and see what happens. The challenge with this one and the one that I'm going to show you after is you just can't do enough damage fast enough. So I think with Wukong that may fix the issue. With him doing damage so quick from so many different spots, I think that it's really going to help, especially if it's targeted towards one person like this. So let's take a look and see if we can't beat this pretty quick. Now, his shadow clones do take significantly more damage than he does, but when they die, he comes back and basically just does it again. It's incredible.
Especially with Rowan on the team, he's almost always out of harm's way because he's summoning his shadows so many times.
Yep, and it looks like we were able to do that before she could drop that bomb, which is nice. She does have that bomb she's about to drop for her special that is devastating. It will take a lot, if not all of your health. So we did just acquire her at level 300 something, which is significantly stronger than anything we have. But I'm not 100% sold that I want to use her. I'm not really sure who I would take out for her. My team is so fluent right now. What do you think? Should we take out somebody for her? We are going against...
I'd say this time, let's go ahead and just try with the deck that you have, especially with Rowan and Wukong in there. I like those 2 abilities, especially with Lucius. Since he activates his shield like he does, he's able to protect everyone. And since she's activating, or excuse me, Rowan, he is activating both of their abilities faster, you're almost taking no damage.
Yeah, they are doing really, really well together. It's crazy. I was curious about Wukong since he did just release, even though we're going to do a patch update on him when that releases. I'm going to pause this. That just took out like almost my whole team in one hit. That was insane. Now, guys, if you catch it quick enough like this, you can hit try again and it's not going to kill your team. I'm actually going to try this again without Rowan in it. And I'm going to try it with my new girl and see if that doesn't help just a tad bit. You can see at the top, it did... Wow, I got that screen recording thing to go away. That's crazy. I don't know how I did it. I like it. But you can see the power difference at the top too, and still I'm struggling with this. Rowan, taking him out is a struggle for me because I like how quick he lets all the abilities happen. But if she gets her ability off one time, it could be devastating to the other team.
That's when knowing the character's abilities come in really well, especially the late game Labyrinth like this, because you have to move your characters around to beat their team.
That's true, which I'm going to have to do here, more than likely.
A lot of times I'll pause it right away as soon as I lose a character, and then switch the team around to see if I can beat it without losing that same character.
I'm actually going to let my Chimera die on purpose, because we can pick her up again when we go up here, and we can get one of those mystics, as long as we just leave one dead, which is fine. And I have some other characters I'd like to use in this team, just to try out, that I think would give us even more of a bonus. Because if we throw Estrelda back in there now, we have 5 light bearers with the angel, or the heraldic faction guy, Wukong. He counts as a light bearer, so you're getting that 5 bonus. So I'm going to try that as well. Oh, what do you think here, man?
Now, usually you do want to go with your legendary relics, but this time, since we don't have any of the wilders, I would definitely go with the elite here in the middle.
I think so too. I'm not planning on using the goblet or the... Yeah, because I only got one more option. I'm going to use it to get back my Chimera just in case. This here is what I was talking about. The Cave of Treasure is really cool. You have an option to get one of these 3 things. It's going to help you a lot in game. Now, he is very, very, very hard to kill. You need fast attack damage. You need to kill him quick. More than not, I run out of time. Now, when that happens, you do lose all your heroes, like they die, which sucks. It really does. So be mindful of that. Let's go ahead and click this next one and move on through here. I do have an open space. I'm thinking we should do...
What about Estrelda at the top bottom?
I wanted to do this. I wanted Fox across from Chimera just to ensure he picks her up. He tends to pick up Grazil sometimes just because of that ability he has to summon a bunch of troops. So I like to put him straight across like that. But what I'm debating right now is whether or not to use Rowan or Thane. And the reason I say that is Rowan's going to let everyone's abilities happen really fast, but Thane does so much damage, and with them popping out little dudes, Thane can get rid of a lot of those. So let's try that and see if we can't get that working here. Alright, let's see. There goes Fox is down. I may have to restart this one and just try to move him around and see. Yeah, let's try to move him up here and see if that doesn't fix the problem. And let's do that as well and see. Fox is out again. He's having a hard time with that Chimera, that damage. Let's see here. It gets really hard really fast in 4-3. All right, let's try something different then. We're gonna take out Thane. We're gonna put in Rowan and see if that doesn't help a little bit. And we're actually gonna put Rowan in the middle. She's got a factional advantage over Chimera down there at the bottom, so we're gonna leave her right down here.
Rowan you usually want to have in the middle just because he does have a radius of the effect, so he's activating the 2 people in front of him.
Which is super nice. So let's see if we can't do a little bit better on this one. It seems to be working quite a bit better. Rowan's just so good. He gets everyone's abilities going so fast. Look at that. Something we couldn't beat at all. You just switch some cards around, focus on the abilities, and you can get through them. Let's see here. This relic chest is one to pay attention to because by this point in the game, you've already picked up so many epics and legendaries. Let's see how many we have that would count towards that. 2, 3, 4. We got 8, 11. So we're looking at 11% increases on defense and health versus backline heroes attack 5 and critical 10, or increase the haste of the allies by 12 points when there are no enemies within the allied half of the battlefield. The war flag's probably the safest way to go here. What do you think?
That usually is the safest way to go, but I actually do like the haste increase on this one. And since your team right now has a strong defensive character, a lot of the other characters aren't able to pass through them to get to the back line.
That's true. I'm just worried about some of the heroes like fighting Thane, fighting Athalia, things like that, where they're as soon as they come there, you lose that whole ability of the whole match.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you fight somebody like that, as to where with the war flag, you're having this good bonus always kind of deal.
I'd say let's go the safe route this time. Sometimes I will pick up the haste if I already know if I have some really good relics that time, and I'll take the chance on it.
Yeah, I think we should just go with the war flag this time and call it safe. As we move up here to the next one, we're going to look at these two battles and see which one's going to seem a little bit more feasible for us. And it's really hard both ways. Let's take a look here. We're going to try this one.
Now, I do like this team the way it is right now, just because you have Rowan activating the front two characters so fast, and especially with Fox in the back, he's picking up one character for what, 9-10 seconds at a time now?
A lot of seconds. We can dive into that here in just a little while. I'm actually going to do a full video on the light bearers, and we'll dive into every ability Fox has to offer here soon. Right now, I think we should pick up this health regeneration one. What do you think?
Yeah, especially since you don't have the agility.
Yeah, and I just don't have that much health regen right now. This is the big one right here. We need everything we can to do as much attack damage as possible. We're gonna try this real quick. I'm gonna try to stop it if we can't beat it and try a different lineup. But we're gonna try it with this one first, just to see. It seems to be so fast that it may be doable.
He does do a lot of damage near the end though. So it's always good to either have Rowan or another type of healer on the field that's going to protect the rest of the team.
And Lucius's shield is so beneficial too. And just a note, guys, when you have a hero that phases in and out of battle like Thane, Wukong, or Athalia, as soon as they phase, they're not affected by whatever special your opponent just activated, which is incredible. So if you can time that right and you can set up your team right, you can really take advantage of that, and they'll stay alive a lot longer than normal. It looks like I may have this one beaten, which is crazy. I don't beat this one as often as I would like to. Sometimes it's really hard if you don't get the right relics on the way up. Wukong just is so good. I'm so happy they put him into the game, and I can't wait to level mine up to that point to use him like this. There we go, guys. It looks like we got him, unless he does something wild right here, which would be crazy, wouldn't it?
I do like a lot of Wukong's characters.
I didn't even take any damage. That was wild. And we got 3,000 barracks tokens, basically. These battle tokens, they can be used in the barracks shop, which is really, really cool. So let's move ahead. We got 2 more battles ahead of us. We are going to pick... They're very similar, aren't they?
They are.
I don't really like fighting this tree guy.
Especially with the healer.
And especially with the new patch 1.30. Kind of made him a little more of a pain to handle. So we're going to try it over here, although I have a lot of respect for Lucius. Mine is slightly better.
You also have a factional advantage more on this one.
I do. I sure do. And that's something else I was looking at too. The factional advantage is huge when you're coming down to these hard mode, floor 3, top tier challenges. You really want to focus on everything that you can control, you want to be able to control. Because it's not easy. Now there's a couple options. See, you have Shamira's item, which I'm gonna pick up. This is a new card, the Elegant Focus. That's a new card. Duratiers are down here. We didn't cover them because we didn't really need to so far. Duratiers are right down here. I don't have any at the moment, but it allows you to restore all your characters. If you do have them, you get them from the weekly challenges. We'll go over the challenge video in a different video. We'll have one of those. But this time we're not going to get that. Dodge 40% is really good, but I have a feeling we're about to get Shamira back. So in case we need to use her, I think we needed to pick that up. Like we've been saying, picking that up is almost more crucial than anything else. So let's go ahead and hit that Mystic real quick and get our Shamira back. I believe that's the only hero that was dead. Yep, we got Shamira back full strength in case we need her. Although I'm gonna try this without it. What do you think? Should we try this without her just to see what it does? It's got a lot of wildlings over here on this side. I got a factional advantage down at the bottom corner. Brutus is running into a factional advantage, and we're probably gonna pick up the Shamira.
Well, he'll most likely pick up the Brutus. He always seems to pick up Brutus more than Shamira if they're on the same team.
Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's see what he does. Oh, he picked up the Brutus. Brutus does so much damage is the problem. But let's find out here. See what we can do.
All of your abilities seem to be activating too fast for Shamira to really do too much damage to your team.
Absolutely, and that's really what I was going for, is really having a team that's so fast that they don't get trapped inside of those negative effects quite as much, which I really like. Lucius did go down, which is kind of disappointing, but I can't complain. This is a really hard tier to beat. They've updated it and really taken this game to the next notch. But there you guys have it. You got Sir Meliodas here and Sir King. We just wanted to give you our advice as we went through this. Let's go ahead and collect the completion reward here, finish adventure, and what you'll notice here is you come over here and you can get some pretty cool rewards just for completing that, which, like I said, Hero Dust is one of the most useful things you can get in this game, one of the hardest to come by. So I recommend staying on top of that Arcane Labyrinth. If you guys need any tips or tricks or have any questions about anything specific, if you guys are stuck somewhere or don't know how something works or a mechanic of the game, there are a lot of things that are changing in the game right now, but we are staying on top of those. So just leave a comment, give us a like if you liked what you saw today. Give us a subscribe to our channel. We got a lot of videos that are to come. And like I said, if you guys are looking for a guild, let me just pull that up one more time. We are growing really fast with 7 Deadly Sins. Guild ID 216902. My name's Sir Meliodas.
My name's Sir King.
And we're out.